Hey everyone, and welcome back to Primate Pastimes, my almost completely neglected second channel, for only the second real video that I'm making for it. Yeah, last time it didn't really go as planned because I ended up recording way too much and had to edit it down significantly, and it took a really long time to get everything edited, so this one's probably just going to be lazily slapped together. Basically, I haven't had as much time to play video games as I would like, so I'd like to do something a little bit different. See, I am a fan of the Arrowverse on the CW, except for Supergirl. Everything I see advertising that show makes it look fucking horrible. But I watch Arrow, The Flash, and Legends of Tomorrow. And both Arrow and The Flash have had villains in this current season that have had very mysterious identities. They've been masked villains, and there's been all kinds of fan theories and speculations about who they are, except for Prometheus, who just recently got unmasked. But The Flash has a villain named Savitar, and they keep teasing his identity. So I wanted to make this video really quick because the episode that is airing tonight is going to at least tease the identity of Savitar, if not completely reveal it. So hopefully I can get this video out before that episode airs, but I might not. So basically, there were a couple of theories going around, actually a lot of theories about who Savitar is. And the top two, in my mind, are Barry Allen from the future and HR. Now, the evidence supporting Barry Allen from the future is basically that he said to Barry twice, I think, the sentence, "I am the future Flash." Now, that could either be, "I am the future, comma, Flash," or he could literally be saying, "I am the future Flash," as in, "I am the future you." There's probably more evidence to support it, but that's what sticks out in my mind. The evidence supporting that it's HR, as far as I'm concerned, is that they both talk about greatness. They both call Wally Wallace. Savitar also said that HR survives Savitar's wrath, which could imply that they are the same person, and that if Savitar killed HR, he'd only be killing himself. And also, HR carries around two drumsticks, which symbolically, to me, seems to represent, at least potentially, Savitar's arm spears that he uses to kill Iris in the future, and that he used to stab Barry. Also, Savitar and HR both have a fondness for stories and myths. So at this point, I think that HR is the strongest possibility, but I actually had a dream, yes, a fucking dream, about Savitar's identity that I think works better. Now, there was a lot of parts to this dream that wouldn't make any sense being part of the show, but I wanted to focus on the parts that do make sense. Basically, what happened was that Savitar grabbed Barry and basically ran him into a portal into the future. And that future was a dystopian nightmare, apocalyptic, like post-apocalyptic, everything's just wrecked to shit. And it turned out that Savitar's true identity was Eddie Thawne. Now, Eddie Thawne killed himself in the Season 1 finale to erase Eobard Thawne from existence, which technically didn't work due to time travel reasons, and that is why the Black Flash is currently after Eobard and trying to officially erase him from existence. But the reasons that I think Eddie Thawne would be the perfect Savitar is actually explained in the dream that I had. Basically, he said to Barry that Barry can't handle the deaths of his loved ones, and that he will bend reality. He will actually rewrite reality itself, going back in time, changing timelines, creating entire alternate timelines like he did with Flashpoint to save the lives of the people he loves, like his mom, his dad. Barry Allen will basically destroy the fabric of reality just to save the lives of the people he loves, and he wants to change the future to save Iris. So basically, Barry's main character flaw is that he cannot handle the deaths of loved ones, and he uses his powers to try and undo them. And, this goes against the inevitability of death. The fact that death is coming for all of us. And Barry Allen's family and friends are no exception. And that is a lesson that Barry learns time and time again, but he seems to keep forgetting. But the reason this seems so perfect to me is that Eddie Thawne was never someone that Barry went out of his way to try and save, or never went out of his way to try and undo the death of. And I think one of the reasons for that is because in season 1, Eddie Thawne was dating Iris, and Barry was in love with Iris. So, in a way, you could almost see how maybe Barry was thinking that, oh good, Eddie killed himself to erase Eobard Thawne from existence, and, in this heroic self-sacrifice. And, maybe he was seemingly pretty sad about it, but maybe deep down he was thinking, oh good, at least he's out of the way. So I think that would be a perfect way to bring up Barry's main character flaw, in that he just cannot accept the inevitability of the death of his loved ones, and he keeps trying to do whatever he can to undo it. Which, you can't blame him, it's a purely emotional thing, but at the same time, he sees time and time again that the consequences of that are enormous, and the ripple effects that his actions have constantly are hurting other people. So I think that would be perfect, and I think that would be a great way of showing that, Barry Allen, he likes to be a hero, he does what he can to save people, but in a way, sometimes when he's saving people, he's doing it for selfish reasons. That could be where they're going with it. Maybe they have Eddie Thawne planned for a future villain. I think he's one of those characters that works perfectly as a villain, because at one point he was a good guy. He kind of got screwed over, and I think that makes for the best villains, is characters that from them being with the good guys, but then something happens and they're kind of forgotten, kind of abandoned. Which is why I think that, if it's at all possible for Arrow to bring back Tommy Merlin and make him a villain, that would be fucking awesome. In fact, I was kind of hoping that he was going to be Prometheus, but that didn't turn out to be the case. So anyway, that's my thoughts on Savitar and who he should turn out to be, at least in my opinion, and also who I think he's going to turn out to be. I do like what Arrow and Flash have been doing, where they have these masked, mysterious villains, and then they have those villains voiced by these really great, recognizable voices in acting, like how Zoom was voiced by Tony Todd, and Prometheus was voiced by Worf from Star Trek, and Savitar is voiced by Tobin Bell. Naturally, every time Savitar speaks now, I think, I want to play a game. I can't help it, it's Tobin Bell. But I think it's a really cool idea, and I think it makes those masked, mysterious villains all the more interesting to have those very distinctive, very cool-sounding voices behind them. And then when they're unmasked, it's a complete surprise. It's not like they take off the mask and they're the same actor who did the voice, which actually, in some cases, wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. But anyway, I think that's really cool, and that's why I like the CW Arrowverse. So let me know what you think, if you think the CW Arrowverse is fucking stupid, or if you are a fan of it as well. And what do you think about Savitar? Who should Savitar turn out to be? And meanwhile, what do you think about Prometheus and who he turned out to be? And they still have an unmasked vigilante. I'm interested in seeing who that turns out to be, even though Vigilante was kind of a lesser villain in the season. It was clearly Prometheus was the main one. So let me know about all that. So I guess that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. As always, I'll catch you on the flip side.